Hi, Nelly. My week has been okay. I have nothing to complain about. Yeah, and I'm happy to join today's lesson. I also missed last week's lesson, but I'm looking forward to an informative session, that is. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much. Kyoko, it's good to hear from you. So welcome everyone to tonight's session. Thank you for making time to join this session. So our session tonight is on lessons on entrepreneurship and effective leadership by Caleb Ogola. Caleb will be taking us through tonight's session. He has an entrepreneurial mindset, so you can be sure this is going to be a learning moment from him. He's also a renowned graphic designer. Yeah, maybe he will tell us more about himself during the class. So welcome on board, Caleb, and you can start us off.
Hello, excuse me, Nelly. Maybe before he starts us off.
Okay.
Just allow me to inquire something. We are having a challenge. Like, for example, we attend this training and someone asks you, what evidence do you have to show that you attended such a training? So is it possible, do you have records, maybe a register for all your attendees at any given time?
Yes. We always have a record of every attendees of every session.
Okay.
Yeah, so we can provide proof that one has attended a session.
Okay. Though for the other certificate we had a challenge, like for example, it was not specifying the period.
Yes, we are still.
Yes.
Yeah, we still noted your concern, and the effective these coming certificates, they will have the dates when you attended the session.
How about the other one? So the other one, it just remained that way.
The other one, it's still a work in progress. We can,
okay.
Yeah.
That is, thank you. Maybe just to insist, those certificates are very valuable. Value addition, especially for someone who's looking for a job. Yes, and I know it is valid and it is a strong document which can give you an opportunity. So the only challenge you can be challenged in the interview to prove, because it doesn't specify the period. You can be asked, when was this? How come the certificate does not even specify the period you attended this? So those are some of the challenges you are likely to experience, though they are very strong document you can use for you to get something. Thank you.
Thank you, Bonfils, for that, and that's a very valid point. We took note of it and we are working to implement it. There being no other questions or comments, Brandon, you can take over.
Good morning, good evening, Nelly, and hello everyone.
Hello.
Hi too.
Seems like in place it's morning.
Yeah, I'm in USA. It's well. I'm around. I'm in Kenya. I'm joining you all from Kenya. I saw you are trying to make a very interesting introduction of me. I am Caleb Brandon Ogola. But because I want to make this as interesting and as engaging as possible for all the participants, I want to see how much you all know me. I know I've interacted with some of you. I know we have talked on chat. I know we have exchanged some words here and there, but I just want to find out by using 3 statements. So in these 3 statements, you let me know which one is the lie. Yeah, and then I'll see who knows me well. Then there's a gift for the one person who knows me well. So the first statement is I hope you are all listening. The first statement is that I was born in Homa Bay. The second statement is that my favorite team sacked the coach yesterday. And the last statement is I am a graphic designer. So which is the lie? Nelly, you will just check from the chat who raises the hand first. Then you choose. And let me repeat the statement. The first statement is I was born in Homa Bay. The second statement is my favorite team sacked their coach yesterday. And the last statement is I am a graphic designer. So Nelly, just check from the chat who raises the hand first, then you choose, and we hear from him or her.
Face has raised their hand. Boniface, you can unmute and maybe say which is the lie.
Okay, thank you for about the best about your best team which sacked the coach yesterday. It is Chelsea.
Are you done, Boniface?
Yes, I'm done.
You haven't told us. So that's the lie, yeah?
Boniface, you need
Okay, maybe the lie will be your first statement.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you.
The first statement, which is?
You are born in Homa Bay.
Okay. Nelly, probably we have a contrary opinion from the attendees. Just check. Anyone else? Thank you, Boniface.
Nancy has raised their hand. Nancy, you can unmute and maybe pick the lie. Sophia as well.
A lie is the second statement.
Which is?
Your favorite team just sacked the coach.
Okay. Then the next person was, I think, this is the last
thank
person.
you. Thank you, Nancy.
Sophia.
Thank you, Nancy. You can hear from Sophia.
Brandon, all the
Yes,
statements are true. You're a graphic designer, you come from Homa Bay, and you support Chelsea.
Okay. Let me. I'll respond to the statements at the end of my presentation, just to see how you all will concentrate throughout, and then we'll see who wins the gifts, and then we'll see from there. So as we continue, just encourage your friends in the group to join the session. I know we all get recordings after sessions, but it's just prudent if we join these sessions because you pay for them. And you're not paying for recordings, you're actually paying to join iCHAKUKA. You're actually paying to join these programs, which are very essential. So I know you already came up with learning intentions to be part of iCHAKUKA, not just for the recordings and the other supplementary materials that we share, but also for the this kind of sessions that we have. Sophia, your hand is still up. Maybe you have something?
No, please.
Yeah?
No, I'm good.
All right. It's okay. So today I want, yes, somebody speaking.
By Rahab. Okay, Rahab just dropped her hand. Okay, you can continue.
All right, it's okay, Rahab. We will still have a chance to engage as we continue. So today's session, we are going to talk about lessons on entrepreneurship and effective leadership. So apart from the three statements on lies and which one is false, my name is Caleb Brandon Ogola. I am a leader. I have had the chance to serve with Capabil for one of the most interesting times as the head of marketing and branding. I'm just trying to, I told you if you be keen throughout the session, you'll get the answers to all the statements, which one is the lie, which one is the truth. And I have been privileged to work with Nelly, who asked me to step in for FCPA Evans Mulera. And I am, with his grace, I have gotten the chance to speak to you today. I think it's interesting, and I've been following through the sessions, and I've seen that you all are a wonderful audience. And so I hope this session will be an interesting one. And so the lessons on entrepreneurship and effective leadership is just a continuation on the last session that we had with FCPA Evans. And I know we got the chance to see how entrepreneurs need to lead themselves, how they need to manage their ideas, how they need to manage the people around them. And so just the next slide. So our learning intention today. Nelly, please confirm that you can see my screen and the progression.
Yes, I can see it. Maybe you can also hear from the audience. Jacinta, you can confirm you can see the screen.
Yes,
Jacinta, all is well?
Yeah.
It's okay, it's okay. And
Okay,
when you can see my presentation, I also hope you can see my video on. And so the learning intentions that I intended to share today are to introduce you to what entrepreneurship is, because I know there are those joining us for the first time in this program. And this program focuses on entrepreneurship and leadership at the beginning and at the end of every session. And then throughout the other programs or throughout the other times we study data analytics and Excel. And the reason why we are focusing on entrepreneurship and leadership is because we also want you to be able to manage your ideas.
hello, did we lose Brandon? Or is it on my end alone?
No, I think we lost him.
Okay, so I think Brandon has an issue with their network. Maybe we can just have a small icebreaker and okay. Yeah, let me just be in communication with him. So maybe we can, today's session is on entrepreneurship. Maybe I will ask everyone maybe to unmute and explain to us maybe what comes to mind when how would they define entrepreneurship in their context, and maybe have you been an entrepreneur before? How has the experience been? And let me start with myself, and then I'll pick on a random person as we get Brandon to join us. So for me, what comes to mind when I hear an entrepreneur is he's a person who goes extra in terms of you take a bigger risk, you dare to do some strange things actually. So for me, that is an entrepreneur. You're a bit extra from the normal. So whether I have been an entrepreneur, yes, I've tried a bit of side hustles here and there, of selling goods. Yeah, that is the best that I have done when it comes to entrepreneur. I've sold a few items here and there. So I'll call on Boniface. You can share with us what comes to mind when you hear an entrepreneur and maybe your experience as an entrepreneur.
Okay, thank you very much for this opportunity. According to me, when I hear the word entrepreneur, what comes to my mind is this is an individual, a very innovative person who doesn't care about taking risk. He believes in himself. He believes in himself. He comes up with an idea, take risk, believe in himself, implement with an expectation, no? With an expectation of making a profit. Yes.
Have you been an entrepreneur before, or do you aspire to be one?
Okay, thank you. Maybe I can say I have been an entrepreneur, but this is something which is being done by my wife with my support. But so far, what I can say, being an entrepreneur, being your own boss, it is a good idea, which I think most of us need to take into consideration, because it has return. It has return, good return, especially depending in the area in which you are venturing. Yes, it has a return. So meaning you just need to sit down, maybe if you are two, sit down, agree, and manage the business well. Yes, it has a good return. That one I can confirm. And you always have cash flow at your hand. And you'll find with the time, you'll have that financial freedom in terms of cash. Yes, that is my experience so far. Thank you.
Thank you, Boniface. And we can hear from Rahab. Have you been an entrepreneur before, or are you an entrepreneur currently, or do you aspire? Maybe how would you define an entrepreneur?
Hi, everyone. My name is Rahab Watara. Thank you for the opportunity. I think from previous lessons, what I've been able to carry home as the definition of entrepreneurship is a person's ability of identifying a need, rather a niche in the market, and coming up with a solution. Have I been an entrepreneur before? Yes, when I was in campus, I used to sell small items to students just to be able to manage, to get small pocket money here and there. Would I want to be an entrepreneur? Definitely yes, but once I get to identify a very unique concept that will pick in the market.
Thank you, Rahab. That's a very, very valid point. You intend to identify a niche, and actually to identify a niche doesn't come from a lot of things, just these simple things you observe. Look at how we are doing our sessions. What do you observe? We are missing out on something. Listen to conversations. What do you hear from those conversations? Yeah, that's how an idea, that's how you identify a niche. Maybe Brandon will also share on the same. Welcome back, Brandon. We were just sharing on how we would define entrepreneurship in our context, and maybe whether we have been entrepreneurs or whether we aspire to be entrepreneurs. So you can take over.
It's okay. Thanks a lot, Nelly. I think I dropped off and then I came in when you were having a very interesting discussion with the attendees. And some of the things I was hearing you talking about, I think Rahab was the one speaking, are on the definition of entrepreneurship. I know most of us have the textbook definition of entrepreneurship, what we maybe have encountered in campuses or what friends talk about. And Nelly, on the sidelines, please check on Caroline Joy. I think on the group she says the link is not working. Maybe you can check with her. Probably after registering, she did not get it on email or a phone or device. Maybe you'll assist on that end. So like I was saying before I dropped off, our learning intention today is on the introduction to entrepreneurship, introduction to leadership, the various leadership styles in entrepreneurship, the types of entrepreneurship, and also the effective entrepreneurial leaders and their traits. And one thing I want us to first do here is define what entrepreneurship is. I don't know if Rahab, you can repeat the definition you gave us. Rahab, please.
It's one ability to identify a need, rather a niche in the market, and think of a solution, and in that solution, how it's also going to be of benefit to you in terms of profits.
That's amazing. Finding a niche, getting a solution. Well, this niche may be an opportunity. And most opportunities are problems that require solutions. Some of the opportunities are also just advancements on the existing problems or innovations or inventions, and then getting solutions to these problems or enhancing innovation or enhancing the existing invention. And that's amazing, Rahab. Do we have anyone else with another definition of what entrepreneurship is? Can see our numbers grown. Maybe Jacinta, we haven't heard from you today. Are you able to give us something to define for us what you understand by entrepreneurship?
I would say the same thing Rahab had said.
Yeah, it's okay. Jacinta, you say you agree with Rahab, or you share the same school of thought?
Yeah.
It's okay. Yeah, and so that is what we understand by entrepreneurship. That is what most of us understand by entrepreneurship. I can tell also that most of us have also not pursued entrepreneurship that much, but I know you've also mentioned here and there that you've tried to do something relating to entrepreneurship. And so on our next slide, I just want to ask also, what is leadership? Yeah, what is leadership? What do we understand by leadership? I know this is the third, I think it's the third session that we are going to be talking about leadership. So what is leadership? Don't try to relate it to entrepreneurship here and there. Just say what leadership is. What is leadership? Anybody? You can just unmute and tell us what you have in mind. We are all muted. I don't know. Boniface, Jacinta, Kyoko, Nancy, Rahab, and Sophia. You can tell us what leadership is. What is leadership? What do you understand by leadership? Yes, Boniface?
Okay, thank you. Maybe from my perspective.
Yes.
Leadership is a process
Yes.
of influencing and guiding.
Influencing and guiding. Okay.
And guiding a team toward achieving the organization vision.
Yes.
Yes.
Leadership is, you say it's guiding a team towards achieving the objectives in an organization. I know I've not used the actual words you have used, but I know I'm relating to what you have said. Is that right, Boniface?
Yes.
True, it's okay. And Kyoko, I know Jacinta has spoken. Kyoko is still muted. Nancy?
I can say it's just that act of organizing people to follow you towards a certain goal or aim.
Yeah, organizing people to follow you towards a certain goal or aim. Rahab's hand is up. Can we also hear from Rahab? Thank you so much, Nancy. Rahab, do you have
I
something?
would say it's the ability of either the ability of either an individual or a group of people to be able to guide others in giving a direction, monitoring the results of their set goals, and giving solutions to problems that will arise in what they're trying to set for a solution.
Wonderful, wonderful. I've picked direction, I've picked solution, I've picked guidance from your definition. And all these definitions are perfect. They are all okay. And so over to the next slide where we have what I wanted us to get from this session. In addition to what we have already said, because all your definitions are okay. I have no problem with them. But now there's this definition that we have here that leadership is a simple. The simple definition we have here is that leadership, it's the art. It's the art of motivating a group of people to act towards achieving a common goal. Yeah. And today, I don't want us to make it just a group of people. I want us to make it an individual, and not just other individuals, but even you as a person. And so it's the art of motivating yourself as a person, the individuals around you, and a group of people to act towards achieving a common goal. And so in a business setting, it can mean directing workers, colleagues, with a strategy to meet the company's needs. And so without a company, without a business, then there still should be leadership, because you have to have that art to motivate yourself. You have to have that art to lead yourself, actually. There's this cliche that there's no way you can lead people if you can't lead yourself. And other people also say that everybody is a leader, because you have to lead yourself every morning to wake up. By the way, waking up is very difficult unless you have the motivation that we are seeing here to wake up. Entrepreneurs know that they have to wake up every morning to do something. People who run their own businesses, even sole proprietors, the sole proprietors are the people like those who sell in shops, their own shops, and other SMEs, other small businesses. They know they have to wake up every morning to go open that shop, to go open that kibanda, to go open that small business, or even that big business, so that they be able to do something. And so there are certain things you have to fight every morning when you're waking up. You have to fight sleep. You have to fight laziness. And at this point, I think I'm also mentioning some of the traits that a leader who is in entrepreneurship should have. And so thank you so much for those definitions, but you can also get mine too as we progress. And so in addition to even the definition we gave on entrepreneurship is the ability. It's the ability. You must be able and be ready to develop, organize, and run a business, along with any of its uncertainties, in order to make a profit. Sometimes there are losses, actually, but Every day you don't wake up to make losses. You organize and develop yourself. You organize the resources and develop the resources around you to go out and make profit. And so every strategy you develop has to be towards making profit. So when you want to make profit, some of the strategies you can consider are things like increasing on the amount of money you want to invest. Maybe simplifying your product, because let's say we as Data Group Limited or Capable Limited, we invest on knowledge. We invest in knowledge. And so when we sell the product of knowledge to students like you, to trainees like you, we have to make it simple. And so when it's simple to understand, when it becomes interesting, when it's engaging, when there are other supplementary items like the recordings and also free videos that you get, then we believe that these are things that increase on our revenue. And the most prominent example of entrepreneurship is the starting of a new business. And so everybody else will always think entrepreneurship has to be starting a new business. But well, it's that, yes, but it encompasses a lot of things. It conglomerates the development, the organizing, and also the running of resources that we call a business. And so up to that point, we now have tried to connect. We've tried to connect what leadership is, what entrepreneurship is, and now how to be a leader within entrepreneurship. And before I move to the next slide, do we have any question? Because this slide is now going to focus on some of the leadership styles that entrepreneurs need to have. So do you have any question? Do you have any question? Nelly, is there anybody on the chat or raising up their hand?
Not really, not really.
It's okay. So leadership styles. What do we know by leadership style? So I know I have not considered starting a business, but I have a mind of entrepreneurship. I have taken the chance to help people develop businesses. I have taken the chance to help businesses develop their strategies. I've taken the chance to get the experience of running a business, somebody else's business. And so I always ask myself, yes, what type of entrepreneur do I want to be in future? So it's a question that many business owners ask themselves when they are deciding what style of leadership to adopt. So the answer will depend on your personal preferences and which approach best suits your company's needs or even the organization. So every entrepreneur is different, but there are certain types of leadership styles that they lean towards when it comes to making decisions. So generally, there are 5 specific leadership styles, but today we are just going to focus on 3. Let me just mention the 5. The first one that I think we all should get at this point is the autocratic leadership style. We are going to get the chance to learn this thing because it's a series of leadership sessions. Then we have the laissez-faire leadership style. We have the democratic style. We have the servant leader style. And then we have the transformational style. And so the decision-making process in entrepreneurship in each type varies depending on the nature of a company's business strategy or your strategy while you start your business. So if you're an entrepreneur or thinking about starting your own company, consider these leadership styles when deciding what kind of a leader you want to be. So you have to consider all these styles because most of us don't know the kind of leaders they are. Sometimes you find yourself, you really want to help people, but you cannot because maybe you don't like being around people, or you just love issuing orders and people do, or you just love getting a vote before proceeding with a certain decision. So it helps you define what kind of leader you are. In history, the leadership styles were first identified by a leadership researcher called Robert Lord in 1964. So later on, the leadership researcher, there is also this leadership researcher called Bernard Buzz. He included Lord's leadership style and modified them to come up with the acronym LEAD. And so I just want to go back to what I define as entrepreneurship, as the act or process of identifying business opportunities, assembling the necessary resources, and taking calculated risks to initiate a successful business activities. We are going to look at the types of businesses or the type of entrepreneurship that we have. But let me look at the three kinds of leadership that I shared, that I've shared with us today. So I know we have the transformative, the democratic, and the servant leadership. So let me start with the servant leadership style. It will also help you define and know who you are. So a servant leader is highly focused on empowering others and creating a supportive environment. This means that he or she will always try to look for ways to help others get their jobs done and encourage them to do well. So this leader will always encourage his staff or people that they have started with business and help them work on their weaknesses. He or she is also more focused on solving problems of the team members rather than solving the problems of the project. So sometimes they have to put the project aside so that they solve the issues that the team members have, because a well-focused team, a well-motivated team will mean the project will be achieved. So the leadership style used by this servant leadership kind of style focuses on and it works to remove leadership responsibilities so that leaders may focus on their primary responsibilities. It also emphasizes on the clarity and direction as well as empowerment, which is appropriate for leadership. As a leader, you also need to be empowering your teammates. You also need to be empowering those who are around you, empowering them with skills, empowering them with the knowledge, empowering them with also some of the things you have that have made you be the person that you are today. So in sharing knowledge, skills, and also motivation helps to empower your team. The other style that we have is the transformational leadership style. So a transformational leadership style is where a leader always tries to motivate and inspire his team members. Motivate and inspire is also to motivate and inspire is also something that we mentioned on the servant leadership. He knows that people are more important than worldly possessions. His people are more important than the worldly possessions. We know the worldly possessions. Maybe their focus is only the profit of the company or the money that will be achieved in the short term possible. So as long as he has a team of loyal members, he will have everything else in his life. He or she believes that when the team members are well motivated, when the team members are loyal to the company or to the strategy or to the objective of the company or to the business, then he will have everything else in his life because they'll be able to achieve their strategies. So a transformational leader will always try to motivate his team members with the use of common goals and strong relationships. Some of these leaders, they also make personal recognitions. So are you a transformational leader? Do you inspire and motivate your team members to achieve leadership? Yeah. And so to the next one that most of us, I think, have engaged with quite a lot. And I'll request even one of us to try to define this, is on democratic leadership. I want to pick on Boniface again because he sounded so participative while we started. Boniface, how can you define democratic leadership? I think Boniface left. Rahab, are you here with us? Stacy. Yeah. Oh, let's hear from Rahab, then we hear from Stacy. What do you define? How do you define democratic leadership? Rahab.
I'll simply put it to a terms of where you're giving the people that you lead in the freedom to also air out their opinion, and you will actually consider to actualize their opinions.
Yes, yes, yes. Thank you very much. Engaging people in your decision making as a leader, and also trying to implement some of the things they do. They say, I mean. Yes, Stacy?
I'd also define it as shared leadership, where you allow your subjects to participate in decision making.
Shared leadership and allowing them to participate in your leadership, allowing them to participate in decision making, and also allowing them to be part of the growth of your business. And so the democratic leadership style, I also call it the participative leadership style. So the democratic leadership style is where everyone has a say in decision making. Some of the examples of participative or democratic leadership styles that we know, Jacinta? Some of the examples of democratic leadership styles that we know, Sophia? I don't want to go back to those who have defined to us what it is. Stacy, yes, go ahead.
For example, our government or private schools.
Yes, our government or private schools. Give me an example of private school. Private school sounds new to me.
Maybe these like international schools.
Oh, the international schools.
Yeah.
One lie about me is that I didn't. One lie about me is that I went to an international school. One lie. And so in democratic leader, yeah, I see Sophia laughing. In democratic leadership, Stacey, you can get from the other attendees. I had mentioned 3 statements. 2 of them were truths, 1 of them was a lie. At the end, we are going to see who said the correct one, and then there's a gift for everyone else.
Okay.
So as we continue, I said that 1 statement was, I was born in Homa Bay. The second statement was, my favorite team sacked their coach yesterday. And the last statement was, I am a graphic designer. So you mentioned the lie out of the 3 statements. And then the rest definitely will be truths, and then you get a gift. So the gift is only 1, yeah. And so the leader in the democratic leadership style will not try to take control of the project, but he will provide guidelines for the team. If the members of the team have any concerns, they're allowed to discuss them with the leader. And he will always try to help them come up with a solution. So this leadership style is more suitable for small business units or small business entrepreneurships, where employees are given leadership opportunities to play leadership roles. And so those are the 3 kinds of leadership that I wanted to focus on today. And so let's proceed. I know we are having about 10 minutes to complete this. So the types of entrepreneurship that we have, I know FCPA Evans discussed this with us last time. And so I just mentioned because we are sharp people. So we have the corporate entrepreneurship, we have the social entrepreneurship, and then we have intrapreneurship. Corporate, social, and the entrepreneurship. And so the corporate entrepreneurship simply refers to the entrepreneurial activities within organizations that are designed to revitalize the company's business by changing its competitive profile or by emphasizing innovation. Like Capabil does this a lot. One of the products is iCHAKUKA, the other is Retowel, and the other is Kid Pesa. These are innovations. So we revitalize the company's business by changing its competitive profile or by emphasizing innovation. So examples of corporate entrepreneurships are the ones I have mentioned: product innovation, And so there's also the process innovation, where the process of producing certain products is revitalized through research and development and the pursuit of new markets. Like we are expanding over time. And at one point in time, the delivery of even this process will have achieved certain standards because of innovation and continuously revitalizing our processes. Social entrepreneurship refers to the phenomenon of applying business expertise and market-based skills in the nonprofit sector, such as when nonprofit organizations develop innovative approaches to earn income. It's most applied by NGOs. And entrepreneurship refers to a system that allows an employee to act like an entrepreneur within a company or an organization. So they are allowed to innovate and also pursue the processes that will help them achieve certain successes as entrepreneurs. So entrepreneurs are self-motivated, they are proactive and action-oriented. People who take the initiative to pursue an innovative product or service. So having understood all these, having understood the types of entrepreneurships, having understood the types of leadership or the leadership styles, we are able now to connect the kind of leadership you need to pursue when in corporate entrepreneurship, when in social entrepreneurship, and when in entrepreneurship. And so what you can live with today as effective leadership and entrepreneurship, that entrepreneurial leadership involves organizing and motivating a group of people to achieve a common objective through innovation, risk optimization, taking advantage of opportunities, and managing dynamic organizational environment. So the last part is traits of an effective leader. If you want to succeed in your entrepreneurship, you have to have these things. The first thing is you have to think, and not just thinking, you have to think. Sorry, you have to think differently. Normally, when we have conversations with friends, relatives, or peers, there are these kinds of people who they are quick to respond. They are quick to raise issues. They are quick to provide solutions, but without thinking. Thinking is a skill that needs to be mastered, just like storytelling and music. It's a skill because you really need to focus on this art where you have to be relaxed and allow your mind to process certain statements before responding. Most people actually, they listen to respond. They don't listen to understand. They listen so that they can get a response to whatever you're saying. That should not be an entrepreneur. You should allow yourself to think and think differently. You should also be visionary. You don't just see today, yeah? I know you've seen friends that, or you've had an encounter with people who they just see today, or they just see tomorrow or 2 days later. But an entrepreneur sees 30 years to come, sees strategies that if implemented can push the entrepreneurship to 50 years to come. Dare to be different, yeah? Be outstanding, or if you go ahead, be the standard. Be resourceful. Being resourceful means you can master the technical abilities like data analytics. It doesn't mean that now you'll have the talent to showcase and boast around. No, it makes you an efficient leader by being resourceful. Practice teamwork. Love everybody around you. Be a people's person because entrepreneurs need people who, entrepreneurship needs people who can network and also love working with people so that you become a team worker. Break free of limitations. Having the mind and the ability to produce something and being able to manage it to make profits and run something for more than 50 years or even 10 years requires you to be a resilient person, requires you to have no barriers and create solutions when faced with limitations. So you don't be someone who complains a lot, but you think through the processes and find solutions for them. Have a clarity of purpose and vision. Know why you're doing something. Know why you want to sell milk within campus. Know why you want to start your crochet business and sell to friends. Know why you want to start selling shoes. Know why you want to start training data analytics and Excel. Have a purpose, have something that you can identify yourself with, because this will define your vision and even mission. Know your people and your business and develop resilience. It will help you break free of limitations. So these are the traits of effective entrepreneurs. So I know we are coming to the end, but I want to give this chance to us to mention the other traits that I may have left out. What do you think? What are some of the traits that effective entrepreneurs need to have? Just unmute and speak. Sophia, you laughed a lot when I said I was from. I know I've seen Sophia's left. Stacy, do you have any other trait of effective entrepreneurs?
No, not really.
Jacinta?
Discipline.
Yeah, discipline. I started by giving us as an example of having to wake up every morning. That requires discipline and diligence. Any other trait? Kyoko, Nancy, Rahab?
Can I say you have to be someone who is resilient?
Yes, you have to be resilient. You have to be resilient. Nelly, I think you can allow Sophia to speak. I see she's still muted. And then Stella, Stacy, you have raised your hand. Stacy?
I think you should also be passionate.
Yeah, you need to be passionate. You need to be passionate, because some of the things I do today are because of passion, not because I really took the time to study them in campus or college. Yeah. Sophia, you're unmuted. Then Rahab will go next. Rahab, please.
Hello. Hello.
Yes, Sophia.
A leader should be trustworthy.
Yeah, trustworthy. You must be trusted with your teammates, and also you have to also even trust yourself. But then, do you know, sometimes you don't even trust yourself. I don't know if you've had such situations where you don't trust yourself. Ujiamini. Yeah, so to say. Yeah. And Rahab, you're saying something, or was it Jacinta? Before
I
Sophia.
wanted to say one other trait will be a leader should have emotional intelligence. You're able
Yeah.
to accept critics. You're also able to accept, because you're always going to be correcting with the people that are working under you. So you need to have emotional intelligence.
You said we be resilient to blue ticks.
No.
Yeah.
No, to critics.
To critics.
Yeah.
I don't know why I said blue ticks. Sophia, do you know why I said blue ticks?
And also,
yeah. Yes, Rahab.
To try, I know this is not the time for the question that you asked, but just to give a try on the 3 points and which one is wrong. I'm guessing that your favorite team sacked their coach yesterday. My thinking is your favorite team is not Chelsea. I'm guessing must be Man U.
Why so? How do Manchester United fans look like?
I think they talk more like Evans, so that's I'm guessing Manchester. And then to cancel out the fact that
I talk like Evans. I talk like Evans.
Yes, you're oozing wisdom like Evans.
It's okay. Thanks.
I'm guessing you are from Homa Bay because of your second name, and then that you are. It's a fact you're a graphic designer, considering the introduction that Nelly gave in the group.
It's okay. Yes, Kyoko is raising her hand up.
I'd say to your question, that is on some of the traits of effective entrepreneurs.
Yeah.
I'd say they should be able to adapt to changes in the environment, and also be very innovative. Yeah.
Yeah, the entrepreneurs need to be very adaptable. They need to be flexible with the changes that are there on the environment. Because imagine if COVID went on and on and on and on. There are some businesses that would have died like that. Yeah, thanks a lot for your contributions. There's this part. I don't know if Nelly will be the one who gives us the gift for this, but management is about persuading people to do things they do not want to do, while leadership is about inspiring people to do things they never thought they could. So who said this? Management is about persuading people to do things they do not want to do, while leadership is about inspiring people to do things they never thought they could. Whose quote is this? It's not Brandon, definitely. It's not me. I don't have such quotes. That management is about persuading people. Yeah, who said this? Somebody was speaking. I heard somebody speak.
Steve Jobs.
Who's that?
Nancy.
Oh, Nancy. Okay, that's a good response. Somebody else? You people don't read about these wonderful people. Okay, you're right, Nancy. It's Steve Jobs who said this. Are you looking into being a manager or a leader? From this definition, we see that management is about persuading people to do things they do not want to do, while leadership is about inspiring people to do things they never thought they could. That was said by Steve Jobs. And so that is how I wanted to conclude today. I hope I have concluded it in style. But before I really leave the scene, I want to give this chance. It's an open floor for us to ask questions. And I know in the next 5 minutes we'll be done, or 10. And then Nelly will take over. Yes, questions, please. Before I give the response to my 3 statements, then see who won or lost. Questions on leadership, entrepreneurship, leadership styles, how to be a good leader, things like that. You can even ask me my personal experience, etc. I know it's been a very engaging session. And now I give this chance back to you people to ask me questions. Yes.
I have a question.
Please go ahead.
From the session I've heard you say that everyone is a leader. Everyone is a leader. That means everyone is born a leader. So do you think that also everyone can be an entrepreneur, or entrepreneur is not? It's not really for everyone. Entrepreneurship is not really for everyone.
Yes and no. And I didn't say everybody who is a leader was born a leader. There are those who are naturally leaders. People like Moses, people like Jacob, people like Isaac. Those biblical patriarchs, they were born leaders, or they had the opportunity to develop their leadership. But there are those who are not born leaders. You can see from your experience with them that, hey, this person is struggling to lead us. And so they don't know how to lead. But we all can be leaders if you take the initiative to lead. That's why we are having these sessions, because we realized that when we develop leaders within us, when we provide great products, when you give the example as iCHAKUKA to develop leaders, to even provide these programs, and we take the initiative to go through this process, then we are going to develop leaders. And some of them will look as if they were born leaders. About entrepreneurship, there are gifted hands. There are gifted hands. That's why I was saying my answer was yes or no. There are gifted hands. They naturally think entrepreneurship. There are many stories you've heard online or by hearsay about people who stopped going to school and they just pursued entrepreneurship and became successful. But there are some people who have to go through certain kind of training to be entrepreneurs. And so it touches on both sides. And I hope I have made myself more clear. Somebody else? We have all stayed muted, so maybe it means we don't have question. But now to Stacy, who didn't try the 3 statements or who didn't listen to the decision. Stacy, what do you think is the lie?
Just a minute. Team sucked coach, something like that. I don't know.
Yeah.
Repeat the statements.
The statements were, I was born in Homa Bay. The second statement was, my favorite team sacked their coach yesterday. And the last statement was, that I am a graphic designer.
So which one is false?
Yeah, which is the lie?
Your team sacked the coach yesterday.
Okay. This is a chance for everyone else to contribute now. Somebody else? Thank you, Stella. Oh, thank you, Stacy.
It's okay.
Okay, so I'll also try.
Yes, please.
So the first one is that it's true your team sacked their coach yesterday because you're a Chelsea fan. I think so. About the statement of being born in Homa Bay, what I know is that you are your home or your background is Homa Bay. So I'm not sure if you are born in Homa Bay. Maybe you are born in Nairobi, but your home is in Homa Bay. And the last statement is that yes, you're a graphic designer. So I don't know if I can say maybe there's a probability that there's no lie.
Friends, I say there's no lie. Okay. We are closing into 9:10. Don't want to eat into our time of meals or those who want to sleep early. One last attempt.
I also want to try.
Yes.
You are not born in Homa Bay. Your team is Chelsea, and you're a graphic designer.
Okay. I hope I'm not leaving anybody else out. So for those who tried while we were starting and while we are now coming to an end, is that I was not born in Homa Bay. I was born in Pumwani. I don't know if this is me, yeah, but I was born in Pumwani. And also, I am a graphic designer. I do designs a lot. I do virtual and video designs. I do posters, etc. So I am a graphic designer. Shock on you is that I didn't even study graphic design in school. And my favorite team sacked their coach yesterday. They've actually hired a new one today. So I know you all now know who said the truth and who lied to us. So that's the end of our session. Nelly will communicate to you who gets the gift. The gift will actually be a package or a subscription, a monthly subscription to join this coming iCHAKUKA level. And so bye everyone. Take it an initiative to invite your friends next time. I know Calvins will join us for the next session. And please make iCHAKUKA your thing. Join us in every session, gain from these interactive sessions, and also go through the recordings and the materials. Nelly will share with you the material for today. and also this recording. Otherwise, I wish you well. Let's keep interacting on the sidelines, and may all your prayers and wishes come true, because I'm also a believer and very spiritual. So bye, have a good night.
Thank you so much, Brandon. Before we leave the meeting, I've got a few announcements. Is that this month we are learning Python. You notice in our last month we were doing Power BI. So if you're in iCHAKUKA, you will definitely get out of this program a different person with a lot of knowledge. So we're going to be introduced to Python, which is a language in data analytics, and it's going to be, we are taught in the simplest of ways with the best trainers, and you can be sure we'll be going step by step about it. So I urge us all to hang on there, to keep attending our classes, keep following through. And the other announcement is that we just finished the previous level. We'll be sharing certificates for the participation. And now going forward, the certificates will be awarded based on the number of sessions you've attended. So ensure your consistency in the sessions is good, so that you're able to get a certificate, because certificate at the end, because by virtue of subscription, we want you to be diligent, to be disciplined. We want to build that leader in you. So thank you so much. In case you have any questions, comments, you can always reach out to me via my phone number or email. I'll respond. Other than that, the gift actually is a tie between Boneface and Kyoko. They are the two who got it right, so you can be sure of the subscription in the next month. Yeah. Other than that, I wish us a good night and maybe a happy weekend, though it's still early. Any questions, comments before we wind up? Okay.
Yeah. Hi, Neil.
Yes, Nancy.
Yeah, I just want to encourage the team members to continue attending and learning this. They're really good. Actually, I got a job because of, I presented a certificate, and they were asking questions about pivot table, Excel, and I got the job. Actually, it was because of the certificate that I had and the knowledge that we had during the first session. So I'm so grateful. And anyone who is trying to lose hope, just don't. It's good. That's it.
Wow. Congratulations in your new job. And that is such a good testimony to hear from you. So I encourage us all, it's not in vain, that 1 hour, your evening, it's not in vain. So the other, I forgot the other announcement is that for this Python session, we'll be having the classes in a fortnight's time, that is in 2 weeks' time. So our next session still remains next week. However, from then onwards, we'll be having it after 2 weeks, so that we are able to absorb the content and get to work on it well, so that by the end, at least we are somewhere. So thank you so much, Nancy, and we wish you all the best in your new job. And sure you deliver well, and we hope all of us can have a testimony of what we've gained from the sessions. So thank you so much and have a good night.